The CPU and GPU are the two most important components when it comes to gaming performance on a PC build. And if your CPU is bottlenecking your GPU, and sometimes the other way around, your gaming performance will be limited and you will not achieve the performance that you want, which can be frustrating. For that reason, I will show you the best CPU and GPU combos for 1080p resolution that you can buy for every budget. We will go from the cheapest one to the most expensive one. All the links to these combos will be down below in the video description, as well with bonus ones, and I will talk about those in a second as well. I will try to explain everything as simply as possible with the estimated performance and the difference between each one of these. That being said, let's start. So with the first combo, we have the cheapest one on the list for $280, and it's the i3-12100F and the Intel Arc A750. If you have less money than this and you are on a really tight budget, then I do recommend you buying from the used market. Every combo here is brand new, but if you want to buy cheaper from the used market, you can get the Ryzen 5 3600 with the RX 5700 XT for a great 1080p performance and also 1440p starter for just $190. You will have that combo down below in the description as a bonus one, but now let's come back to the brand new ones. So the i3-12100F with the Intel Arc A750 are a great pair for just $272, and this combo is going to give you really good performance at 1080p high to ultra settings. On an A game average on ultra settings, at this resolution, the Intel Arc A750 was able to average 75 FPS, where high demanding games were tested as well, so if you want to play easier to run games, you will be able to achieve 144 plus FPS on average. Now, I want to mention that for about $20 more, you can get the RX 6600. This one is about 10% slower than the Intel Arc A750, and as I said before, is $20 more expensive. But Intel drivers are not the most stable, and if you are the type of person that plays every game at launch, then you may want to consider the RX 6600. However, most of the driver issues from Intel were fixed, but that's just something to keep in mind. If you want to play on day one or even want to think about the drivers, then the RX 6600 might be the better option, even though it's slower and it's a bit more expensive. Anyway, this is a great combo if you are just starting and you want a 1080p capable system, especially if your budget is not high. But if you have more money, you can spend about $400 and get the Ryzen 5 5600 with the RX 7600. This is more of a mid-range to high-end combo for 1080p, and on a 15 game average, once again with high demanding titles on high to ultra settings, the RX 7600 was able to average 88 FPS, which is going to be enough for most people. I think this is a sweet spot for 1080p resolution, since you get a very capable CPU with 6 cores and 12 threads, and you also get a very capable GPU for this resolution. On top of that, you get AV1 encoding, which is going to be helpful if you are streaming on YouTube and make your streams look way better. One step above this combo, we have a high-end 1080p combo with the Ryzen 7 5700X and the RX 6700 XT. The RX 6700 XT has 12 gigs of VRAM, which makes it very capable of 1440p resolution as well, and it's also 28% faster in rasterized performance than the Intel Arc A750 and about 14% faster than the RX 7600. On that same 15 game average I've mentioned before, the 6700 XT was able to average 103 FPS, which is about 15 FPS more than the RX 7600 on average, and you get more VRAM, which is going to be helpful down the line if you want to play the latest AAA titles on ultra settings or you want to upgrade to 1440p resolution eventually. So here you are getting top of the line combo for 1080p and also a really good 1440p combo for under $500, and the Ryzen 7 5700X is an 8-core processor that is going to be able to play high CPU demanding games at 1080p with no issues and with higher frame rates than the Ryzen 5 5600. If you are into shooters, the 5700X is going to give you an advantage, and with this combo, you will be achieving over 300 FPS on average. Also, you can consider Nvidia in the RTX 4060, but it's going to be about the same price and a much slower GPU in terms of rasterized performance, and you get less VRAM. So I do not recommend Nvidia unless your favorite game is Fortnite or you want to do content creation. And with the best combo, I believe you should not spend more money than this for 1080p resolution. We have the Ryzen 5 7600 and the Radeon RX 6800 for the GPU. This is a 16 gigs of VRAM GPU that is going to deliver really high-end gaming performance when it comes to 1080p resolution, and anything more than this is going to be an overkill. The RX 6800 at 1080p on a 15M average was able to achieve over 120 FPS, making it the best GPU on this entire video. And on that same test at 1440p, it was able to average 93 FPS. So very capable of 1440p ultra settings, 90 plus FPS on average, or 1080p ultra high FPS. You also get a great CPU and a platform upgrade, and now you have a more upgradable system over time because you get the AM5 platform. So down the line, if you want to upgrade the CPU to a better CPU from AMD from the AM5 platform, you do not have to upgrade the entire motherboard and the RAM. It's just going to be a CPU upgrade, which makes everything easier, and also it's going to be a cheaper upgrade since you are only upgrading the CPU and not the motherboard and memory kit. So this combo, by the time that I'm recording this video, is $593, and it's expensive for 1080p, but it is going to give you the best performance out there in my opinion, and anything better than this, it's an overkill, and even this combo is an overkill depending on the games that you play. I did not mention Nvidia GPUs because at the moment the price for them is not really there, especially at this tight budget. They are not really competing on the budget market. You can get an Nvidia GPU and you will have those GPU alternatives in the description if you must get Nvidia, but I just wouldn't recommend it as they are often more expensive and offer the same or lower performance than AMD or Intel, at least on the 1080p market. But you will still have those options in case you really want an Nvidia GPU. And bottlenecking your system not only comes from your GPU and CPU combo, can also be from your power supply, motherboard, the airflow overall, and there are just so many factors that can bottleneck your system. So for that reason, I do recommend you watching my video on the best PC builds for every budget, where I go over entire PCs with every component, no bottlenecks, depending on your budget and depending on the resolution that you want to play at. You will have that video in the top right of the screen. Thank you guys for watching this one. Thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.